If you are looking for a person who can change your life, then look in the mirror once. No one can change us more than ourselves. Praise yourself because the whole world is there to do evil. Anger is such a poison that more than what is put on anything, it harms the character in which it is kept. It is not very difficult to understand the truth of life. The scale at which you weigh others, sometimes sit on it and see. Go where you need to go. Lights have no meaning of lamps. It is very easy to defeat someone, but it is very difficult to win someone. Responsibilities make a person bigger before time. Time is what we want the most, but we use it in the worst way. Nothing is possible without sacrifice. To take a breath, you have to leave the first breath. Only leaves fall in the leaves. There is no season to fall from the eyes which does not see its own mistake. It is better to keep away from that person. Those who have a pure heart, the world starts proving them wrong. The best lesson in life you can learn is how to stay calm. If you have the courage to achieve your dream, then every dream of yours can come true. Do not give up in life after seeing the problems. Who knows, in this problem, you have a big beginning. If the pain is big, then you will also get a big success. If there is forgiveness inside, then forgiveness will come out. If there is anger inside, then anger will come out. If there is prayer inside, then prayer will come out. If there is hatred, then hatred will come out. So whenever something comes out, do not blame others. Hope and faith are never wrong. It just depends on us whom we have to trust and whom we have to trust. Steal the beauty of thoughts from anywhere, because the beauty of the face changes with age, but the beauty of thoughts always remains immortal in the heart. When we do any work in the remembrance of God, then the powers of God help us, and our success is assured. Give your situation to God, because the more you can do in life, the more you can do in a moment. The person whom God likes, whom He wants to make special, He always keeps him unsuccessful. He always puts trouble in his life. If you are losing, then this is a very big indication that you are one of those special people of God whom He wants to take forward. There are some people in the world whom you give so much love, respect, still they deceive you, because you can never change people's nature. A wife can meet with love, but parents meet with virtue. Do not care for them whose faith changes with time. Always care for those whose faith remains on you, even when your time changes. Whatever the relationship, you should not be helpless. You should be strong. Patience in life is very important, because always remember this: drops of water fill the pot. The truth and goodness of the mind never go in vain. This is the worship which God Himself searches for. Happiness tests our ego, while sorrow tests our patience. Our life is successful. Love and respect are two such gifts. If you start giving them to everyone, even the mute ones hide. The day you realize your value, after that day you will not be affected by anyone's criticism or praise. There is no friend in the whole world greater than sorrow, because it is only sorrow that reminds a person of God. To understand a good person, you need a good heart, not a good mind, because the mind will always reason and the heart will always see love. Truth is only bitter for those who are used to lying. Every experience teaches something. Therefore, every experience is important. We can learn from our mistakes too. The poison in the stomach only kills one person, but the poison in the ear kills many relationships. Lord Krishna says, "Everyone has problems in life, but man considers his own problems to be the biggest problem." It is bitter, but it is true that a person's personality only shines when he struggles with his own people. If someone asks you for something, then give it to him, because God has kept you among those who give, not among those who ask. If someone asks for advice in trouble, then you should also support him, because advice can be wrong, but support is never wrong. If you want peace in life, then stop listening to people, because life is a name not to stop. A person who does not give up even though he is not strong, no power in the world. If you want to value relationships, then do it while there is time. Otherwise, it is useless to hope for greenery by giving water to a dry tree later. The easiest thing in the world is to lose faith, but the most difficult thing is to gain faith. It is even more difficult to maintain faith. Pride comes when we feel that we have done something and we get respect. When the world thinks that you have done something, when people praise you, then find lies in it. If you criticize, then look for the truth in it. You do not need strength, but you need a lot of strength. Accept both criticism and praise in your life, because a flower also grows in an excellent way when it gets both rain and sun. If you want to give something to someone, then give him a good time, because you can take everything back, but you cannot take back the good time you have given to someone. God of good people takes a lot of tests but does not leave together, and God gives a lot to bad people but does not give together. If you work for happiness, you will not get happiness, but if you work happily, you will get both happiness and success. When a person's need changes, then the way of talking to a person also changes. A person is a shop, and a young man is its lock. When the lock opens, it is known that the shop is of gold or coal. When you earn money, things come to the house, but when you earn someone's prayers, happiness, health, and love also comes. The patience of a person is like a torn thread. When it is pulled more than the limit, it is certain to break. Whose nature is always going to change, he can never belong to anyone, whether he is time or human. If you want to be happy in life, then it is necessary to accept these 6 things. 1. Learn to listen. Learn to earn before spending. Learn to understand before writing. Learn to try before giving up. Learn to fulfill before making a relationship. The less you speak, the more precious your words will become. Sri Krishna says, if you are passing through the path of time, then do not be afraid, you are shining. There is a lack of something, otherwise there would not be so much crowd on the Ganges. Love is never there to fulfill your needs. Love is always there to understand each other's joys and sorrows and feelings. If you have no enemy, then it means that you were silent in those places where speaking was very important. If you want to move forward in life, then become deaf, because most people's words are discouraging. Think before speaking, because after speaking, you do not think, you repent. A person who moves forward never hinders anyone, and a person who hinders others can never move forward. The joy of crying in the love of God is not even to laugh in the illusion of the world. The human house changes, clothes change, relationships change, friends change, love changes. But why is he sad? Because he does not change himself. Weapons can only injure the body, but they can also injure the soul. There is surprise in life and a lot of trouble too. Everything is good when God's grace is there. So do not think that your dream is not fulfilled. The will of the courageous is never incomplete. A person whose deeds are good, his life is never dark. If you want to be happy in life, then stop listening to others. True stories are told in the alcohol shops where the hands are jammed. False stories are told in the court where the hands have Gita. It is okay if you are not afraid of God, but it is necessary because God also has to enjoy the fruit of his deeds. This bread is not cheap either. Someone is running to earn it, someone is running to save it. If the one who shows the direction is right, then the light of the lamp also works as a sound. To stay away from evil, develop goodness, and fill your mind with good thoughts. People are like that. Try to like them in the same way and accept them. Try not to expect or wish that it happens as you want. The regret of the past and the worry of the future are 2 thieves who steal our beauty today. If life goes away, then there is death, and if desires go away, then there is salvation. It is better to be a source and save someone. People leave you for a little thing, and Lord Krishna with a little prayer holds your hand. Do not pay any attention to their words who whisper behind your back. It means that you are 2 steps ahead of them. Why is fasting always about food? Greed, whispering, lust, anger, and dirty thoughts should also be there. Selfishness is also a part of human behavior. After the rain stops, even the umbrella seems light. It is also necessary to be careful, because sometimes one's own teeth bite the tongue. Arjuna chose Lord Krishna by sacrificing 10 lakh soldiers. This is the best example of faith. People who walk alone are not arrogant. They are actually enough alone in everything. No one remembers, but when you were wrong, everyone remembers it. A person should be right in his own eyes. The world is also saddened by God. Never lie to that person who believes in your lies. In the world, there is only one human being whose poison is not in his teeth, but in his words. Carefully kept things and carefully heard things can come in handy at any time. People who do not appreciate your emotions have nothing wrong in saying goodbye to them. No one can change us more than ourselves. People who think about you are not important. What you think about yourself is important. When you feel that you have no one, then look at the sky. There is one who has always been yours and will always be yours. The fear that harms self-confidence, it is necessary to end that fear. Do not make wrong assumptions about anyone because you do not know how many problems they have in their life. As you grow older, you begin to realize that you have given importance to those who had no contribution in your life. One day, your deeds will come to meet you. Just do not be surprised that day. Arrogance tells you how much money you have. Rituals tell you how your family is. Innocence tells you how a person is. Selfishness tells you how close you are to him. Selfishness tells you how far you are from him. The loud voice of a small person silences a true person, but the silence of a true person shakes the roots of a false person. When people ask what you do, they actually calculate how much respect you have to give. Your happiness is the biggest punishment for your enemies. There are two things that give nothing to anyone. One is prayer, and the other is a smile. If you want to do something different, then do it away from the crowd. The crowd gives you courage, but takes away your identity. The person who has the strength of patience, no one can compete with that person. When a person loves you, he forgets your badness, and when he hates you, he forgets your goodness. Attachment to any person is extremely harmful, because attachment leads to hope, and hope becomes the cause of sorrow. People spend half their lives studying, and what do they learn? To humiliate each other. Lord Krishna says, don't blame the world for your pain. Explain your mind. The change of your mind is the end of your sorrows. To learn something new, it is necessary to accept that every person is better than us. Everyone earns money. Earn blessings. Blessings are useful where money is not useful. If you cheat, you will get cheated. If not today, you will get it tomorrow. If you live your life with truth, then you will get peace every moment. The reality and importance of relationships in life is determined by the fact that they do not change because of your fame, defamation, success, or failure. If your relationship is really true, then even if the situation gets worse or difficult, your relationship does not get worse. When pride and hunger both increase, then a person cannot hug anyone even if he wants to. Any person is recognized by his words and good deeds because good things are written on the walls too. When time turns, everything turns. So don't be proud in good days because bad times do not take time to come. Everyone's time changes at some point or the other. If necessary, we just have to move with time. There is no name at the time of birth. There are only breaths. There is a name at the time of death, but there are no breaths. The journey between these breaths and names is called life. Everything in this world has to change. Just do good deeds. Someone's life will change, someone's heart will change, someone's days will change. No matter how good the financial situation is, but to enjoy life, it is necessary to have a good mental state. If you want the answers to all the questions of your life, then ask all these questions to yourself. Relationships never last with a sweet voice or a beautiful face. They last with a beautiful heart and never break with faith. If there is any work worth doing, do it with your heart. You will succeed in it. Change your thoughts. These thoughts will definitely change your life. Remember one thing, that do not go to anyone's refuge except yourself. Just watch while watching. Just listen while listening. Just feel while feeling. Just think while thinking. This is the real karma. After getting angry, no matter who is at fault, the one who loves you the most. To maintain relationships, you should have a pure heart. Say the truth clearly. Say it openly. The one who is yours will understand. The one who is not yours will leave. Before getting angry at someone's mistake, don't count your 10 mistakes. People say, keep the money. It will come in handy in bad times. I say, believe in God. There will never be a bad time. Those who believe in hard work never talk about luck. The one who does not value his relationships, it is better to stand alone than to stand with him. He is not arrogant, he is self-confident. Tell my mistakes to me, not to others, because I have to improve, not to others. There is not much difference between happiness and sadness. The one who is accepted by the mind is happy. The one who is not accepted is sad. Life is best for those who are enjoying it. It is difficult for those who are wasting it. There is not much expenditure than being happy. but we spend a lot strimpage. There is no beauty in the body. A person's deeds are beautiful. His manners, his speech, his behavior, his values, and his character. The one who has all these is the most beautiful person in the world. One can forgive deceit, but cannot forget. Once a saint was walking with a small dog in his hermitage. Suddenly a young man came to his hermitage and bowed down at his feet. He said, "Saint, I am very worried about my life. I work hard every day, but I have never been successful. I don't know what God has written in my fate, that despite being educated, I am unsuccessful." The saint understood the problem of the young man. He said to the young man, "Let my dog walk for a while. After that, I will answer your questions." The young man felt a little strange about this, but he did not question again and ran ahead running the dog. After walking the dog for a long time, when the young man reached the hermitage, he saw that the young man's face was still bright, but that little dog was barking loudly. The saint asked him, "How did my dog get so tired? You look very calm. Didn't you get tired?" The young man said, "Saint, I was walking slowly, but he was very restless. He was running after all the animals he met on the way. That's why, despite deciding the same distance, he got so tired." When the saint said, "This is the answer to your questions. Your goal is next to you. It is not far from you, but you leave your goal and run after other people. And in this way, you go away from what you want to get." The young man was satisfied with the answer and started correcting his mistake. We also start following others. If your friend is a doctor, then you also want to be the same. Whether you have any interest in it or not, we lose our talent by doing this and struggle all our life. We don't get success. So never follow others. Make your own goal and run after it. Friends, that's all in this video. See you in the next video. Take care.